guess who came to the UK from the United States of America? That's my sister here. I often call her my big sis, and she's got so much experience when it comes to relationship matters and issues. And since she's been in the UK for, I think, a couple of days now, I don't know how many days bang on, but I know a couple of days, I just wanted us to do something to talk about something that's been really disturbing, and it's so prevalent in our generation at the moment. And in as much as I'm gonna come again with another topic, I mean this very topic, to talk on this issue, but it's gonna be for a long time. I want us to just talk briefly on this particular topic. And that topic, I would just ask her just a question. You okay, Constance?
Yes, thank you for having me. First of all, I would say UK is a great place to be, but not that I'll prefer it to the US. It's beautiful out here, the weather's okay, everything is good.
So why wouldn't you prefer it?
I don't know, I think I just found my roots in New York City.
Yeah. Anyway, I would prefer the United Kingdom because for me, I think it just aligns with my values, and I like it soft and calm. I don't like the hustle and bustle happening in your New York City.
I know, right? New York City is always on speed. And
anyways, yeah, I've hosted you a couple of times, I think 3 times or twice, and the whole time I've given you a topic on relationship. And when you told me you were coming over to spend some days with us, I was thinking, what question or what topic could we discuss for like 15-20 minutes? And so I'm going to ask you a question because the topic came to my mind, but I just didn't want to talk to you about it. I just want it to be real. To the people watching us out there and listening to us. So that question is, what do you think should be the punishment for paternity fraud?
Wow, paternity fraud.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very relevant question,
yeah,
especially nowadays. And I would say that paternity fraud is something that has been happening over the years, as long as the existence of man. But it has just become a thing now because of this DNA testing.
So you're saying it's become so obvious now?
Yes, because now we have a way to determine it. It's not just by looking at the child and say, oh, this child doesn't look like the father, or this child is different. No, now you have something that is certain.
Yeah.
There's something you can use now to determine that this child, and that's number one. So usually, the reason why people do DNA testing these days is, first of all, maybe for medical reasons, and maybe for immigration reasons. Nobody just would like to just get up and go do DNA tests unless there's doubt. And of course, when there's doubt, you want the man to be at peace. The woman wants her husband, or if she's clear conscience, you want them to be at peace if they have any doubt, and then you do DNA tests. So it's not like it's something new. Yeah. It's just that now we have a way to determine that this child is not for this man, or this child is not for the husband. So and so that's where paternity fraud comes in. So paternity fraud is something that has always been, there are so many women. Someone once said to me that if we had to test every child on the street, you'll be amazed how many children will be without a father. Yeah. And it's sad because it's sad, particularly because when there is the issue of paternity fraud, it's not just the man that suffers. Yeah. It's the children too. As well, yeah. Because a lot has been invested into that relationship, especially when you have a good father, and he's invested everything into the life of that child.
And even that emotional bond.
Exactly. And then you just come one day and say, this child is not for you. Some men will say, I'll just walk out, I'll just kick them out. It's easier said than done. Yeah, it's not easy because this is a child you've nursed from cradle. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, something is different. When you don't know, they say what you don't know don't kill you. Exactly. Right? So as blind as that statement is, it's true in this regards, because when the man doesn't know that this child is not his, he's investing everything. He has no doubt. He gets to bed, sleep well at night. But the minute you have that information,
it just spoils everything.
It crushes the man, it crushes the children. I wouldn't say it does anything to the woman here, because at the end of the day, she's the perpetrator. Of course. They say a woman must know the father of her child. And if there's doubt, even when she has doubt, she knows at least it's between this man or that man. But when the child or the father has a doubt, they are lost. Yeah. You see the child thinking about, am I going to go build a relationship with this person again, or start a new relationship? It's just a whole lot. You lose your identity.
Yeah.
It's emotional crush. So now, what should be the punishment?
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, the situation itself is punishing the wrong people.
Yeah, but
Paternity.
anyway, before you go straight to the point, we would be doing like a live section on this topic.
Yeah.
But I just want us to go, like, I just want us to touch it bit by bit. But when it's time for the live section, of course, I'll be hosting you and another person that I think will be able to talk on this topic. I want you to talk from the perspective of the woman.
Yeah.
When the time comes,
Yeah.
but now you need to talk on both perspectives.
Yes.
And I will host another man who's going to talk on the perspective of
How
the
it
man.
affects the man.
So carry on.
So, you know, like I said, it's already a punishment in itself.
Yeah.
Just the realization, the revelation of the
Yeah.
secret. It's a punishment for the child, for the father. I wouldn't say for the mother, because at this point, I don't want to even feel sorry for the woman.
No,
You
she's
understand?
out of it. Yes.
Because I think you are the culprit. You should, whatever comes out of it, you take responsibility. But I have seen men,
yeah,
you know, some men who are, I mean, kudos to such men. They are few, they are not very common. Nothing changes in the relationship with the children. They might actually divorce their wife. They might actually do away with the marriage, may just crush, but they keep that relationship.
yeah,
It is hard, I know. It is almost impossible, but I've seen men
yeah.
who have done it, and
it's
such
so,
men deserve their flowers.
Yeah, and it's also like difficult finding the biological father of those children.
Exactly, because time has passed,
yeah,
and the woman might not
20
even have information, and some women don't even actually know.
Yeah. Who the father is?
Yeah, because they've bounced from one man to, and then at the end of the day, they end up with pregnancy.
Yeah.
They are not guessing between David, Daniel,
Yeah.
and you know, and
And this
demons.
is the problem I have with women who are married who still go outside. For me,
It's sad.
for me, I'm this person who, as a married woman, there are certain leverage that should not be given to any man.
Yeah.
As a married woman, and as a married man, there are leverages that should not be given to any woman.
Exactly.
Because sometimes our flesh do fail us.
Yeah.
Let's not talk as a Christian now, because if I talk as a Christian, people will be like, is it Christianity? But actually, let's talk about being a moralist.
Yeah. From the moral perspective.
From the moral perspective, you know your flesh is going to fail you. It's not like you have control over your flesh. A lot of people they claim to have control over their flesh, but they don't.
You know what? It starts with carelessness.
Mhm.
Some people are very careless in the way you converse with the opposite sex.
Yeah.
The things you say, the jokes,
Yeah.
the unnecessary contact.
It's
That's
so
where it starts
sad.
from. Yeah.
It's so sad, even as whether a single man or a married man, it's sad when I
Yeah.
see people making silly jests with married women and married men. Use your senses. You should know this person is taken. There should be limit and boundaries to how you deal
Yeah,
with
some
them.
people are very respectful anyway.
Yeah.
A man just walks up to you and you say, I'm married. Oh, they say, sorry.
about
These
that.
are responsible people. But you see some people, they know you're married and you say, I'm married. So,
I'm married too.
and then you start to engage yourself in silly jokes that does not edify the body or even the mind or the soul.
Yeah.
And what do you expect?
Yeah,
That's
of
how it
course.
starts.
Yeah.
So when they say crack, once you put that crack there of irresponsibility, carelessness, and loose talk, you know, there's every tendency that, you know, that those things will happen.
Yeah.
And some of them will say, oh, I didn't plan it, I didn't mean it. You don't have to plan it.
Yeah.
Just by being careless, you have already set
Yeah.
yourself up to
Let
fail.
your guard. Let your guard down. So back to the question. Talk on the male perspective and the female perspective. What should you think should be a punishment, or I don't want to
From the
sound
legal
so
perspective, right? I don't
Mm.
think there's a punishment in the legal sense. Like you can't send a woman to jail because she lied to her husband
Yeah.
about the father of the child. There should be.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You sure you can send a woman to jail?
Yeah, for fraud.
Okay.
She can claim she didn't know. She can claim that I slept with him and I slept with him. I don't know. I didn't know. But there's no definite legal. I don't think there's a legal implication,
Yeah.
you know, or legal punishment for any woman who will commit such a fraud. I have not heard of it. But say like normal punishment, like just like I said, the revelation of
Yeah, I was doubting you.
Yeah.
I needed to clarify that. I just checked. In the UK, a woman can be sent to prison for paternity fraud in the UK.
wow.
Because they take that so personal. It's
But
you
it's
you
really
messing up
crazy.
with the emotion of someone.
That's true because
They should be sent to prison. I like the UK for that. Thumbs up to the UK.
yeah, well, maybe if they can prove it, if they can prove it. The point is, the legal system is very dynamic,
And that's why in the UK, when you have your child, as soon as you have your child, they encourage paternity test.
But you don't have to do paternity test if there's no reason to doubt. It's only when the man has doubts.
See, Constance, to be very honest, the women we have, the crop of women we have these days, I personally encourage men. I don't care if you trust a woman or not. I just encourage them to go on paternity test.
Like a married woman and a husband in a committed relationship and they're happy. The man has no reason to doubt his wife.
Constance, I do encourage it.
Well, sometimes
I'm telling you right now, guys, blessing him if you don't say it.
I think it's good to actually know for sure.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, it creates doubt. Like if I'm gonna put myself in the picture, for example, right? I'm married and I'm happy. I don't think, since I got married, I don't think I've ever looked at another man and feel like he's hot. No. Because, and guys, this is it. I have an incredible hot husband. That's why.
Tell me about it.
I know, he's incredibly hot.
Tell me about it.
So maybe that's why. But beyond that,
yeah,
I have a relationship, a commitment that I don't think either of us, whether me or my husband, have any reason to actually doubt.
Yeah.
So I would find it offensive if my husband said, I'm going to do a paternity
Constance,
test.
you talk.
Offensive doesn't mean that I'll
Yeah.
stop him.
Yeah.
You understand? I'll be like, is it that he doesn't trust me? But I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah,
because
Constance,
these
that's
days,
because you know yourself. These
yeah,
days, a lot
but
of
these days,
women, a
I'm
lot of
telling
women
you.
have been trusted
I used
by
to
men,
feel
and
like
their trust has been
you're right.
betrayed.
Before now, I think, being a Nigerian and African,
Yeah.
I always feel like, why should a man, want to do the paternity test? He doesn't trust the woman.
Oh, no.
No, I was always like, I
Go
was
for it.
anti
Yeah.
DNA test
Yeah.
in the beginning. For women that are, trustworthy. Until I got to the US and I started watching this program called Paternity Court. My God. I would see children that look so like the man, the same complexion, the same nose, the same face, and when the result comes out, it's not the father. I'm not like, sometimes I'm so emotional for those men.
It's a messed up generation.
Some of them have bonded with the child, they raised the child is even an adult, and they just get that shock. I think it's crazy,
No. So I'm going to ask you, as a woman, a man walks up to you and say, I just find that my first child is not mine. What would you say to the man?
See, like I said, there are angels among humans. The way I see it is that it takes a lot. First of all, it takes a lot to be a dad.
Yeah.
Than it is needed to be a father.
Mm-hmm.
You can just donate sperm. You're a father. To be a dad, it should be studied. But my advice would be, what kind of connection do you have with this child?
Yeah.
Is it about the child or about the mother? You understand? If you can find it in yourself to not break that relationship, because you are broken, you should not break another person.
Yeah.
You understand? If you can find it in yourself to continue the relationship you always had with your child, not let anything break it, I'm sure that you'll find healing and blessings in it.
Okay.
It's hard.
It's really hard.
But it's
really
possible.
hard. Yeah,
Because people have loved children that are not their own.
Because
I know that the lie behind it might be the challenge, but we can work.
Yeah, this is actually true, because I think fatherhood and being a dad is not about blood.
No.
I think it's about the connection you have with that kid.
Yes.
And it's really not about blood, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right what you said, but I would still maintain, and I still maintain, that alternative tests should be taken very seriously nowadays in our present generation, because we have so much moral decline all over the place.
True.
And then just so your heart is not broken, you need to find that out. And at the moment, some people date my color guys, and they have kids for the other color guy, the other color. So you'll be like, what's happened? I heard of a guy who is suing a young lady at the moment, because he's from Nigeria, and the kid is a white kid. And this guy took care of this girl the whole 9 months, the whole time she was pregnant. Now she's suing the family, you need to pay me because I spent my lifetime, 9 months of my time raising that child.
But the thing is, it's a complex situation. What I'm saying is, ladies, I'm not trying to build a defense for the lady here, but I'm saying is, that's not something you can prove.
Yeah.
The lady can testify that I told him that I wasn't sure, and he still wanted to stay.
And you're gonna bring proof for that.
Yeah, but he also he has the burden of proof.
Yeah.
He's the one taking her to court, so he should prove that wasn't said. And how can you prove it? You know, especially if you have been in that relationship for 9 months, you guys are intimate, and you know, it's a crazy situation. But like I said, let's always try to be angels.
Anyway, we're gonna end it here because I'm coming live again. I'm gonna bring the flyer out so you can see what date is gonna be. We need to trash this topic, and like I said before, who's seen a man and a woman? Of course, you already know who the woman is, and I still maintain, go for it. You that man watching me now, go for it. You know,
if you have doubts,
you know why I said go for it? I just want you to clear your conscience, and I just want you to be sure of what you're getting into. Go for it. Don't hurt yourself. Just go for it. It is better. I always say this. It is better to hurt me with the truth than to compensate me with lies. I hate lies, and I always tell people go for it. And if you want to know, I'm married, and when my husband comes tomorrow and says he wants to do it, go for it. I don't care. Just go for it. So long as it's at the moment, it's not just enough to trust a woman. It's not just enough to trust a man. We're talking again as regard the man. Don't just think it's limited to the woman alone.
But when it's paternity fraud, when it's paternity fraud, it's the woman.
Yeah, of course, it's the woman.
100%.
But when it's time for having kids outside the marriage without the knowledge of anyone, it's the man. So we will be talking about these two very sensitive discussion. But at the same time, there's nothing worth fighting for, and there's nothing worth losing your senses for. In as much as I've said go for it, I said go for it just so you're sure, not
just to have that peace,
not for you to break the connection between you and your kids. There are men, like Constance rightly said, there are men out there who find out this is not it. They're still in connection with the kids. I've said it before that relationship is not strictly by blood. Relationship is the connection we both share, and that's what matters to me. It's not like I don't care about blood. Of course I do care about relationship by blood, but at the same time, relationship by connection means so much to me. And I would leave Constance to say one last word to everybody.
So yeah, guys, let's all prepare for this. Have your questions ready, and we'll do our own research and come back with this topic, and I believe that we're all going to learn from it. But in the meantime, if you have doubts, if you're in a relationship where you're doubting, instead of withholding part of your love for that child, just go and do it. You know, bring some peace to yourself, and so that child also will have the opportunity to find their real parents while it's still possible. So thank you very much for having me.
Real parents, you mean biological?
Yeah, I mean their biological parents.
And I would leave this to every woman out there. Just try as much as possible to sit in one place. Try.
Might I say something?
Yes, please.
So yes, it's true. If you're a woman out there, keep your legs closed.
Yes, please.
Open it for the right man, which is probably
yes. Please.
Now. But the thing is, if you are in this situation already where you are doubting, I don't know if it's for Thomas or it's for Timothy. Now, what you need to do is be honest. Do yourself a favor.
It is better
if you love that child.
Yes,
if you love that child you're carrying, you want that child to know their biological parents. And if you even love that man one bit, you want him to have clarity. If he decides to keep you and the child regardless, that's beautiful. But if not, you have done yourself some favors. And I know that this is not a Christian program, but I always like this this Bible phrase that to have a conscience void of offense towards God and towards man. Thank you.
And also the Bible says the truth shall set you free. Most of the time I notice that when we speak the truth, we just avert punishment to us. Punishment that's supposed to come to us, we just avert it because we have spoken the truth. Just like Constance said, if you are in doubt, go for it. And I've said that also to the men, go for it just so you're sure. Again, connection is not strictly by blood. Relationship is not strictly by blood, it's by the connection we both share. And to the women out there, please try as much as possible to be loyal. When I mean loyalty, I don't mean bowing down to greet anyone. I mean loyal with your legs. Yeah. And thank you so much, Constance.
It's a pleasure.